Hi everyone! So this video is to help you with the second form, a part of the lesson 7.1 independent practice. So sorry that it might seem a little choppy because originally I made it all one video, and so I'm separating it for each form, and it says examples 2 and 3 because originally it was all one video. So this goes with 7.1 independent practice for form 2. So now we're moving on to power over power. And this rule says when raising a power to an exponent, you multiply the exponents. And so to demonstrate what I mean here, we could have 2 to the 2 cubed, right? And so what this rule is saying is that we would actually end up with 2 to the 6th because we're raising a power to an exponent. And I apologize for the dog barking. I'm at my mom's watching her dogs, and the one is a little crazy, so she's barking. So to show you where this comes from, remember when we have an exponent, that's how many times it's being multiplied. So 2 to the 2 times 2 to the 2 times 2 to the 2, right? And whenever we have 2 to the 2, that is really just 2 times 2, right? So we'll have 2 times 2 3 times. And how many times are we multiplying 2? 6. Right? Because we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 2 to the 6th. Okay? So whenever you have an exponent being raised to an exponent, instead of writing out all of the terms, you can use the shortcut and multiply. So we're going to do a couple examples with this. So I want you to be aware with this problem, we have 8 outside of the exponent, or outside of the parentheses, but then we have a squared b cubed inside of parentheses that's being raised to the third power. So whenever you have parentheses, that is what's being raised to the exponent. This 8 is not being raised. So do not include that 8 when you're cubing it. Instead, you can just leave that 8 out in front. And again, we're multiplying, okay? Whenever numbers are right next to each other and there's not another symbol in between, there's not like an addition sign or a division sign or subtraction sign, then you're multiplying. So it's 8 times a to the 2 times 3 times b to the 3 times 3. Okay, because remember, you have these terms inside of parentheses that are being raised to a power. That's why we're multiplying them. So when we simplify, that would come out to 8a to the 2 times 3, which is 6, and then b to the 3 times 3, which is 9. Okay? So this is the last example. This is kind of combining power of a power and product of powers. So hopefully, if you were confused about something that I talked about in a previous example, seeing it again might be able to help. So here we have 3xy squared to the second power being multiplied by 2x squared to the third power. And because of our order of operations, we're always going to apply the exponent before we carry out the rest of the multiplication. So in this case, we're applying the exponent of 2 to 3 And remember, x doesn't have an exponent, so that means it's 1. And we're multiplying these exponents because it's an exponent to an exponent, okay? So this is our first term, okay, that we're going to be multiplying. The second one is 2 cubed x to the 2 times 3, okay? So now let's simplify what we have inside of our parentheses. We'll end up with a 9 x squared, because 1 times 2 is 2, y to the 4th, 2 times 2 is 4, and then we'll have 2 to the 3, which simplifies down to 8, x to the 2 times 3 is 6, okay? So now we have a regular multiplication of powers here, and then we'll just apply our product of powers. So again, we're going to be writing our coefficients together and then all of the like terms together so that we can easily perform our operation. So we're multiplying, so 9 times 8, and whenever we multiply exponents with the same base, we write it so that we add the exponents. And then there's no like exponent for the y. So then we just tack that on to the end of our multiplication. So our answer will be, and you can use a calculator to figure this out, 9 times 8, 72. X to the 2 plus 6 is going to be x to the 8, y to the 4. And that is your final answer. So again, if you have any questions about this at all, feel free to post in Teams or email or come to office hours. So hopefully this was a good review for you guys. But again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask.